with that said, let's look at the power of the seed. And I outlined for you 5 laws of sowing and reaping. Verse 1 of 2 Corinthians 8 reads, "And now, brothers, we want you to know about the grace that God has given the Macedonian churches. Out of the most severe trial, their overflowing joy and their extreme poverty welled up in rich generosity. For I testify that they gave as much as they were able, and even beyond their ability. Entirely on their own, they urgently pleaded with us for the privilege of sharing in this service to the saints." Verse 5 says, "And they did not do as we expected, but they gave themselves first to the Lord." Underline those words. They gave themselves first to the Lord and then to us in keeping with God's will. What are the 5 laws of sowing and reaping? That means, how do you work the word so that the word works for you? Law number 1, give yourself first to the Lord. Before you endeavor to sow any kind of financial seed in God's work, in God's kingdom, sowing or giving does not begin with the pocketbook or the wallet. Giving begins with the heart. The first thing you must do is what these Macedonians did. And by the way, when Paul was writing this letter, he was writing to Christians in the city of Corinth. And as he wrote to them, he cited other believers in a different country in Macedonia, north of Greece. And he said the Christians in Macedonia, or the Macedonians, which included the people of Thessalonica, the city of Berea, and the city of Philippi. Paul says, let me tell you what's going on there, because I've been there. The grace of God has visited their cities. And he's saying, you guys know about the Macedonians. These are the guys that have had civil war in the past generation. And as a result of trying to rebuild their country, there's heavy taxation. And on top of that, there's a high level of persecution among the Christians. And despite the most severe trial and adverse economic situation, the grace of God is there among the Macedonians big time, that when they heard about the fact that there was a need among the Jerusalem Christians, they pleaded with us to give. Paul says we were shocked. But he said, you know what they did first? They gave themselves first to the Lord. How do you give yourself first to the Lord? Because this is the first law of sowing and reaping. The way you give yourself to the Lord is by being able to say, God, I don't want to be moved by my circumstance. I want to move those circumstances out of the way. My poverty, my adverse situation, my persecution, what's going on with me. I want to move all those things out of the way, and I want to use my faith even in this circumstance. I want to do what you think I should do. So they came before God and said, God, I'm here as your servant. I may not have much, but I'm at your disposal. I want nothing to stand in the way of you using me. They gave themselves first to the Lord. And for so many people, this thing here, I'm holding my wallet in my hand, this thing here, which represents money, it gets between us and God. And it hinders our spiritual growth and our ability to move in dimensions of supernatural living and supernatural experiences with God. I want you to grab your wallet with me, please, as I have mine in my hand. For ladies, have your purse. If you have neither a wallet or a purse, you have something that's of value, grab your iPhone. If you have nothing, if you have nothing with you, just hold up your empty hand. Not as a fist, but hold it up with just an empty hand, because it represents something that you use to hold things that are valuable. I want you to take your wallet or purse and hold it up in the air. If you just have your phone, hold that up in the air. And I want you to repeat after me this prayer as we look to God. Let's assume that God's up there. Let's look up to God. Keep your eyes open. Every time you pray, you don't have to have your eyes closed. Guess what they had to tell the bus driver when he prayed? Keep his eyes open. But I want you to keep your eyes open, and I want you to say with me, Lord, may my money never get between us. I look to you first as my source and not to my money.